Program Management, Customer Request for Quote. Phase 1. Step number 1, the account manager receives the RFQ from the customer. Step number 2, upper management internal meeting for a new project. Step number 3, business case plan, feasibility and capital investment, preliminary plans. Step number 4, quote or no quote, is a team decision based on a preliminary business case approval. Phase number 2, if the RFQ is approved for quote. Step number 1, the engineering manager or the R&D manager appoints the program manager. Step number 2, the account manager sends the RFQ to the program manager for review and summarization. Step number 3, the program manager reviews the customer request for quote documents. For examples, in general, the RFQ documents can be CAD files, GD&T or dimensional drawings, requirements for prototype tooling and production tooling, estimated annual volume, payment terms, production location and logistic, packaging, ship to plants. Timeline, design freeze, critical technical and quality requirements, first of tool. Due dates for customer pre-production builds events, PPAP levels for each pre-production shipments. Start of production, requirements for production gauges and ongoing data collection. Validation, material and components. Production process, and the due date for full PPAP. Phase number 3, production feasibility meeting. The program manager will have a preliminary APQP meeting with the following internal team members: R&D manager, mold engineer, gauge engineer and/or GD&T specialist, cost estimator, quality team, account manager, purchasing manager, engineering manager, validation engineer, material engineer, tool room manager or maintenance manager, plant manager, logistic manager. In the meeting, the program manager shows presentation about the new project and proposes a preliminary timeline to the team. Also, in the meeting, the responsible team members will talk about issues and lesson learned. For example, the open issues can be buying a new molding press, crane, electric power availability in the plant, floor space in the plant. Lesson learned can be quality issues from similar product, tooling issues, dimensional issues, logistic issues, and capacity issues. Phase number 4, gather quotations from suppliers. The program manager sends RFQ request to the team members. The team members can be the mold engineer, gauge engineer, manufacturing engineer, purchasing manager, validation engineer, capital investment management and the DFM engineer. Note: if the team member is not available, the program manager will gather the quotes and do the DFM. In my case, I have done all the above jobs for my projects as a one-man show because the team members are not available. Phase number 5. Step number 1, after the program manager received all the required quotations, he will add all cost to the summary sheet. The summary sheet includes but not limited to a minimum 3 quotations from 3 different suppliers for tooling, injection mold, gauges, assembly tools, cost for material, cost for shipping material, cost for dimensional reports, cost for validation, cost for colorant, cost for R&D, cost for shipping tools, cost for tariff and duty, etc. Step number 2, once the program manager completes the cost summary, he will send it to the cost estimator. Step number 3, the program manager and the cost estimator will have a meeting for review the cost summary and the capital investment. Phase number 6. Once the cost estimator completes the cost forms and the capital investment forms, he will email it to the following team members for review and approval: account manager, engineering manager, and general manager, etc. Please note that most companies have a project software system that keeps track of all involved steps and documents, for example, J.D. Edwards, CAT4, Plex, ERP and MES systems. Most likely for most companies, emailing forms is not acceptable because the data must be entered in the system for review and approvals. Phase number 7, business case. If the business case is approved, the account manager will send the forms to the customer buyer. Phase number 8, technical review with the customer. Once the customer buyer received the quote, he should invite the supplier to a technical review meeting, or the supplier should request a time for a technical review meeting. In the technical review meeting, the customer team will go over the RFQ. They will ask the supplier questions and the supplier will ask the customer questions. The customer will make sure the supplier quoted accordingly to his requirements. All involved in the technical review meeting will review manufacturability, timing, design, manufacturing capability, packaging, GD&T, fit and function, production data, ADVPNR, PQCs, DTs, materials and components, and any other issues related to the commodity and the RFQ. Phase number 9. After the technical review meeting, the cost for tooling and molded parts can go up or down. This depends on the information that was collected from the customer during the technical review meeting. Most likely, the customer buyer will send to the supplier the target cost for tooling, piece cost, launch and amortized cost. The customer will also ask for the cost breakdown for tooling, manufacturing and the cost for the molded parts. For example, General Motor cost breakdown forms called GMW 1820, 1810, and 1804. Phase number 10. Once the customer received the cost breakdowns, the customer will come back with the final target cost for the project. Now the supplier can haggle over the price, reject or accept the project. If the supplier accepted the target price, most likely the customer will kick off the project with a letter of intent and then follow with the purchase order. Phase number 11. If the supplier accepted the project, the account manager should send to his internal team an alert email saying, "We have been awarded a new program," followed by a tooling kickoff team meeting. This is an example of an alert email. Team: we have been awarded new project. Customer PO number, not available yet, but we have the award letter from the customer. Production plant, San Antonio, Texas. FOPR facility. The project budget, $80,000. OEM, FCA Chrysler. Platform, DJ. Program life, 5 years. RFQ number, RF10020. Project number, N00214. Part number, 35128065. Part name, DJ front door retainer. Molded material, PBT polyester, 20% glass fiber reinforced, heat stabilized, PBT GF20HS. Material specification, per Delphi M4629, we currently use this material but not the black color. Material supplier, Delphi. Color, black. Manufacturing process, injection molding, shoot and ship. Injection mold cavitation, 4 cavities production mold with 2 hot drops to cold runner. Injection mold prototype, not required. Production injection mold steel, H13. Mold supplier, China. Quoted cycle time, 45 second. Quoted part weight, 30 grams, includes the cold runner. Estimated annual volume, 200,000 parts. Gauge, full attribute gauge. We have the preliminary 2D drawings stored in the project folder. We have the preliminary 3D CAD file stored in the project folder. Packaging, returnable, quantity in a box TBD. Parts must be packed in a manner which prevents distortion during shipping and storage. Required validation, yes, the preliminary ADVPN are stored in the project folder. Material required dates, MRD. First MRD December 18, 2017. Second MRD February 19, 2018. We quoted 300 parts for the customer pre-production build. Drop dead date for parts from the home line? October 15, 2018. Full PPAP, December 19, 2018. Start of production, January 15, 2019. Thank you for your time. My name is Amer Janineh and please watch my other mold design videos.